How's it going, YouTube? Here I have my first comparison video that I'm going to do between the Steelie, the CaseCo Mountie, and the Kenu Airframe. And all three claim to be the best cell phone car mount, and I will be putting that to the test. And also individually testing these side by side in a vehicle here in a little bit after I unbox these mounts. Firstly, let's start with the airframe. So we'll just open this guy here, the Kenu mount itself, and a little booklet here telling you how to clamp it or how to rotate it. Now the Kenu takes a clamp route, which has a spring inside, and I have a 5-inch 1 Plus phone here, which should clamp on here very well, and there we have it. The Kenu mount does have a really good grip to it. I don't think it's going to be slipping. Now this is a smaller device. It's 5-inch. Next to my V10, you can see how much thicker it is. We'll set this on. We'll go in. There we go. Expand it all the way for it. And obviously the widespread is a lot bigger, so it's a little bit tighter to move up and down. Inside the Kenu is rubberized. It's not going to damage your phone, so you're safe there. The back also rotates one by one with notches, and this will be for the vent that we'll test out here in a little bit. So this is the Kenu. Okay, here we have the Mountie by CaseCo. So we'll just unbox this. Installation instructions and specifications. In here we have a metal ring and the Mountie itself. Now this takes a different approach. It is not a clamp, as you can see here. If we take a closer look, we also have soft touch and a nice felt all around the device, which feels really good in the hand. And a tight spring in the back. So when you clip this into your vent, this will reach on the back and clamp in. Behind here there's a magnet. So how do you clamp your phone on this? With this little metal ring here. The metal ring on the back is not just a pattern of design, it's also meant to have extra grip. So it's a 3mm adhesive tape, which we all should know these are very strong sticky pads. I'm going to clean off my phone and stick it right in the middle so the balance of the weight is perfectly centered. If you do not want to stick it onto your phone, then you can use any case with a flat. It will not work on a phone like my V10 because this is rubber and it has holes in it, so it needs to have a flat surface to stick on. If you need to take it off your phone, don't worry, it's not going to leave residue on your phone as well. So here's how it works. There we have it. We have the mount. Just I'm wiggling it around here, and it's a very strong mount. I'll just set it down, bring it up. Very strong. So you definitely can imagine we shouldn't have to worry about it wiggling around when we're driving. So that's the Mountie. And the third one we have the Steelie, which is made by Nite Ize. This one also takes the magnet approach. We have a round ball here, and we're going to open it up. Steel vent mount kit. Oh, that's a lot to read. So I only need this left portion. Alright, so let's take a closer look at the Steelie. So here's the Steelie. It feels really solid, it's heavy, and it has a little latch here. Okay. And this will be clamping in to the vents. And when you want to just set it in, then it clamps in to stay put. Now I just realized that the Steelie magnet phone socket sold separately. The ring attached to the iPhone on the back is supposed to be what keeps the mount for the phone to stay on this. So I can't complete this video until I order that ring. Okay, we have the Steelie magnetic phone socket. This is what I was missing. Booklet, a little back tape slab to stick on your phone, alcohol prep pad, and the Steelie magnet. And on this one I'm sticking onto my Nexus. If your phone's really dirty and grimy, then you want to clean it. But I am not going to stick this on there because I shouldn't have to use this, but it's there in case you want it. I'm going to peel this off. We're going to set it right in the middle-ish. We'll give it a good press. And now we can get it to it. Give it a little longer press. That was kind of scary. Ooh. Put that sticker on after all. So let's try this one more time. I'm putting a lot of pressure on here. Wait 24 hours after application before use to allow for sufficient cure time. Alright, well this one wants me to leave it on for a long while. But what's odd, I didn't have to do that with the CaseCo. It worked right away, as you saw in that video as soon as I pasted it. And since I'm here trying to let this one, adhere better, I'm going to show you a close-up of what the difference between these rings together. Black, silver, red for the Steelie, silver with a pattern plate. Let's take a closer at the bump that they both offer. Here's how much the Steelie mount protrudes from your phones. And here's how much the Mountie protrudes from the phone. As we can see, the Steelie protrudes around double. Again, for the Kenu mount, it does not have any magnet. It just has a spring-loaded clamp. In just a few hours, I'll be testing these out. Okay, firstly, I'm going to mount the Kenu. We can rotate to adjust where we want to set it in better. And then these will grip inside. So I'll stick it in there. And the vent still is able to be directed. Firstly, I'll test my smaller phone. It does have a lot of movement, but it doesn't seem that it's going to be falling out. Now, in order for you to move the phone, you have to open this up two-handedly. Put it in, you can do that. We do have a wiggle there. I'm going to paste it on this side. See if that's a little bit stronger. Still has a little bit of a wiggle, but you're not going to be texting on this thing. And now let's test out the V10, which is the biggest device that I have now. Still apparent wiggle to it, but it doesn't feel like it's going to completely fall off. It does have enough to stay gripped. You'll still be able to navigate and use your GPS. Now, here's the problem with this, is that you can't rotate it if you want to use it landscape. In order for you to use it landscape, you're going to have to rotate this and stick it in there. Now, I don't like just doing that twist there. Makes me feel like there's too much flex in the back. Let's take a look. Now, when I'm trying to rotate and fix it, it feels like it's doing a lot of stress on the vent, which feels like it might break it, and I don't want to break it. Yeah, definitely not comfortable with moving it that way with this. Of course, this vent is not the same as everyone, but we'll test it on another vehicle there. Okay, now let's move on to the Mountie. So how this works is going to squish this, and that's going to latch in the back. This is how it goes, and it's done. I'll get the CaseCo ring, and I'll set it there. There is the jiggle that we all have. Of course, that's up and down because the vents will move up and down, but it's not moving as much as the Kenu mount. Up and down will, but not as much on the sides. Now, so far, that's how easy it is to stick on and off. Now, I definitely feel the magnet pulling the phone right to it, and I don't have to really, guess too much. I can feel it when it locks in, and it's going in great. And also, I can rotate it to go into the GPS mode, and I'll be able to do some vlogging. Perfectly fine videos like this, hands-free. There's the back, and this is just gonna attach to it right there. That's how it goes, and it's on. And we can rotate it without it having to fall off, and we can mount it off. So that's the Mountie from CaseCo. And to take it off, just hold it back, pick it up, and it's gone. So this mount won't be falling off. And next we have the Steelie. Much heavier. So we're gonna go right into the middle and clamp it on, and it's clamped. And here's the Steelie magnet in the back, and we're just gonna stick it on. You can angle this, but it has a easier flex, and you'll also be able to rotate it. Of course, because in the back it's rounded, so it has a lot to be able to move around with. It's a heavy mount, and it's a heavy phone, and it has a sturdy fit. Now, it does stick out a lot. It comes closer towards me. It's definitely not as small as the CaseCo mount, but it does feel that it wants to stay mounted. Whoa. I did not think it was gonna come up with that. Okay, so I want to test how many times I can pull it off without this Steelie trying to come off. So, it's on there, it's gripped. Now I'm going to stick it on, rotating, pull, okay, good, stick it on. And the second pull pulls the whole Steelie out, meaning that it's not entirely tight. So you can adjust that by adjusting these screws, and that's another thing that you have to do, and hoping that you don't crush these, because it's definitely a strong magnet, and it's gonna pull it out if you want to take your phone off really quick. Now I'm gonna try one trick here, do it sideways. So you would have to do it sideways every time so that it doesn't pull it off. I feel like I could trust it keeping my phone intact because it's a pretty strong magnet. So it won't fall off, but it will definitely move. around. And eventually, this could wear out. Over time, it might be, if it gets dirty, it might slip around a lot more. So let's go test these out on another vehicle, shall we? Okay, as we can see, we have different vents here. Like in my truck, I'm gonna do the Kenu first. I'm gonna stick this on there. The fact that this rotates is helpful for this Kenu mount. We're gonna stick this. So in this case, the Kenu mount will actually work because the vents rotate themselves. And it's actually, since it's thicker, it grips on a little bit better. But it's still easily pull out. It's pretty flush to the car itself. Now, will the Mountie work on this? I do not think it will, but we'll try it anyways. Push it all the way. In this case, the Mountie will not work for these type of vents. And next we have the Steelie. I'm gonna paste it on right there. Ooh, almost too fat for the Steelie. Let's see if it'll close. Oh, well, I guess since it's a round ball, it's a straight shot, but it's working. Let's grab my phone, and there you have it. As you can see, it protrudes a lot out of the car. That could be a good or bad thing for you. There, one off, two off, and I already see it already coming to the point where it fell off. It's a good idea to work with a lot of vents, but it tends to want to fall off. So I'm gonna try to use these all together. 3 different clamps that claim to be the best to work with vents. So here I'm gonna be testing how much they move when I hit bumps and drive around, so in case that matters to you. You might be seeing my actual camera that I'm recording with wobble around more. But think of it this way, the setup of my car here allows me to record as a dash cam with these mounts. I can't really fit 3 phones. I'm surprised I actually got it to work this way. Now, of course, I could rotate the image this way with both of these. And the Steelie, just by barely touching it, it wants to rotate easily. Now I'm turning. It's a pretty hard turn there. The camera shows that they're shaking. So now I have them recording the front-facing cameras. We'll see how that does. I could definitely see the Kenu just moving a lot. The Mountie and the Steelie are doing very well for themselves. As you can see how much my little ghost up there moves as I'm traveling, so you can see how much movement I'm doing. And I'm going to hit a little bit off-road here. And see, this is actually kind of big. Oh, nothing. They're all hanging on pretty tight. The roads aren't going to be as crazy as what I just did there. Now I'm going to hit the curb, going up, see what that happens. Nothing. Pick it up, set it back on, pick it up, or not. And this also fell out, and this also fell out. So this is not as good as oh. The Kenu definitely beats having to have something behind your phone, but you can see how much better the stuff behind a phone or even on your case will be working. Going to work on more vents than these other 2, but you know, you just saw what just happened there. Now the Steelie definitely doesn't want to stay on. You do have to adjust that if you want it even tighter on vents like mine. I like the ball idea that you can rotate around, but it's definitely easy to move. And you can hear that sound. Sounds like if it gets dirty, like a lot of dirt gets into it, it's going to start slipping on you. That is over a long time. The magnet piece is definitely protruding. As you can see how much is going to stick out of your phone. It's almost half or more than half your phone size of thickness. And lastly, we have the CaseCo mount, the Mountie. This has been the most, reliable of having to stay put, easy take on and off, with a smaller ring on the back. It doesn't protrude as much, and it's gonna stay on there. What do you guys think? What's your favorite? And there you guys have it. It's time for me to rank them by my own personal experience, by cost and uniqueness and functionality. And if you thought different, let me know in the comments below what you think. At number 3 is the Kenu Airframe Plus at $29.95, and as low as $26.99 is what I found on the website and Amazon. At number 2, you can find it at $39.99 or as low as $25 from the website or on Amazon as well. And for first place is the CaseCo Mountie, which comes in at $24.99. I reached out and I got a discount code for 20% off. Link in the descriptions. I hope my comparison video helped you out on choosing your next car mount. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Later.